Hey everyone, welcome. This is our weekly AMPS live training live stream. My name is Georgiana Haynes, and today we have a really different type of live stream in store. So you guys know the drill. You know how this goes. Get started in the chat box below with your wins for the week. Now, I know it's Valentine's Day, so a lot of you are off and out doing stuff, so we may not be expecting as big a crowd as we usually receive, but I figured I'll just talk to myself for a few minutes, and whoever is on will get to chat a little bit, and then whoever is out for the evening, enjoy yourself. You could catch the replay on YouTube a little bit later. For those of you who don't know, my YouTube channel is Georgiana H, so it's youtube.com/C as in cat /Georgiana Haynes, and that's where I post all my replays. So if you missed tonight, or if you're thinking you're gonna miss it but you want to go out and do stuff, which I know none of you are, it's okay. There will be a replay tomorrow. But all right, so we do have a few people getting in on the line. Hey Chris, Kathleen, Jessica, Renee, Jessica Z, hi. Hey, hello, gorgeous. Hey, Brandy. Happy Valentine's Day to you too, Renee. Happy Valentine's Day, guys. Happy Valentine's Day, Milagros. Oh, Miss Milagros was looking really pretty in her little red dress today. Showing some leg. Happy Valentine's Day, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed your day so far. Got your chocolates in and your giant teddy bears. I came out of work today, and on the street there were all these guys with gigantic bears tucked under their arms and flowers and balloons, the whole nine. And I was like, look, this is rush hour. There is no room for you, your balloons, and all your bears. Off. But I was like, let me not be that miserable person. But it's always nice to see the guys going out for all their ladies and treating them to all that special stuff. So tonight I actually themed our training call. I kind of tried to give it a, not really romantic, but a relationship type of theme. This is actually my first Valentine's Day with you guys, because this is the first year that we've really been doing these live streams. So I'm excited about this, and I thought I would just do something a little bit different. And when I got the wheels turning, I said, oh, okay, you know, that might be an interesting topic to talk about. So I hope you guys like. We're gonna have a little bit of fun today, but still keep it in the educational realm for our business, so that you know, I feel like you need to have some fun and games, but also some training and learning experience, so that you guys are watching for a reason other than to hear me talk. So we actually have quite a few of you on the line. So since you're here, you know how it goes in the chat box below. Let's get started with your wins for the week. The things that you're celebrating, the things you've accomplished, big or small. Doesn't matter here. Everything is a big win here, because we party and celebrate with you, because that's what this whole group live stream is about. But let's see what you guys have accomplished that you're celebrating. For me, I don't know if some of you saw, but a few weeks ago, not even, I guess last week or the week before, I had a bit of a meltdown because I was working on my website, bossladies.com, and I was working on, I have like a main blog, which is like beauty and life stuff, and then I have another blog on the same page with representative resources, where I've sort of accumulated all the different information that I found helpful over the years from different sources, and I tried to organize it so that a new rep or a rep who's new to leadership can find some of the basic information, because I just found that I as a rep starting out, I had to Google search and ask around for a lot of the information, and I find that the new reps on my team were asking the same questions. So I put together a section of my website where I had gathered all those resources going back. Originally, it was going back to about 2010, 2012. I actually had two websites. I had one website that I took down. Hey, Timothy, welcome to the call. Happy Valentine's Day. And Miss Brenda, welcome. It's good to see you, girl, hailing all the way from California. So I actually had another website that I took down, and I changed the name of the site. So I transferred all of that information over to my new site. So everything was just kind of grouped under 2013 as the earliest date. But anyway, long story short, I was going through and I accidentally deleted that entire page with all my resources. And it was like, I don't know, it was late in the night. I had been making changes and I was just like, I don't even know what to do. Everything that I've gathered, everything I've been accumulating over the last few years was just gone. And I knew that once you delete a page on that site, there was no archive, there was no backup, which reminds me, let me make a note to myself. I really need to back up my website because I can't have that happen again. You would think I would have done that already, but no. But I was so panicked and overwhelmed, I didn't know what to do. And luckily, Google archives old web pages. So because I didn't save my changes, the mistake that I made by deleting that page hadn't been uploaded to be live. So Google still had all of the old articles on there. So I had to go and copy them all and paste them into new articles and make all new posts for all the articles that were missing. So I went back to 2013 and I made new posts for everything. And I was distraught and frustrated and angry because, you know, it's tedious. And I was up until like 3 a.m. just copying and pasting. But the silver lining on this cloud was that it gave me a chance to go through posts that I had for years ago that I hadn't really looked at in a while. And it kind of refreshed my memory of what representatives go through in the beginning, things that they might have common questions about. I'm changing the screen because I'm getting sick. But so I got a chance to go through those, and I found, you know, quite a few nuggets of information from way back when that's useful to representatives now. So I've been trying to repost them to bring them to the forefront again. And I also had a chance to go through and edit a lot of the old posts. I try not to update them with all new information because I thought it would be nice to make new posts because Avon has made a lot of changes over the years. So I tried to edit some of them to kind of make them easier to understand. Now that I've come a little bit further in business, I have a better grasp on some of the things. So I was able to update and change those posts. But I was just kind of excited because it was like I went back in time and refreshed my memory with some of these old things that you know, struggle with as new reps. And for myself as a leader, I found that I had done a lot of research when I had first gotten into leadership, and I had found a lot of articles by other people who were experienced in the field, and I had saved links into my database. So I went through and I reread a lot of those articles, and I just felt really reinvigorated in my business. Things that I had been struggling with recently, I had posts about years ago and I had researched, and now that I was reading it, I had a different outlook on a lot of the things. So I was just super excited because now I just had a totally different outlook on current situations, and it was just a brighter perspective. So I was excited that I was looking at things in a different, more positive way. So I feel like it was a breath of fresh air on my business. I feel renewed. I feel like I have new energy. And I know it's only February, but how many of us make resolutions and make plans, and then like the second month into the new year, you've kind of already fizzled out? I'll be honest with you. I tell you guys all the time, transparency is key. I was kind of fizzling out. I was getting frustrated with some things, and there were things that I was getting hung up on, and there were things that I was getting stuck in a rut on. So by reading those new articles, I kind of got out of that rut and said, you know, sometimes really sucky things happen for a reason, and maybe I just needed to overcome that. Chris says that's her. So yeah, I guess we're all kind of in the same boat. So that was sort of my win for the week. So I did manage to update the posts and get new posts on there. And I do have 3 that I'm working on, 3 new posts that I'm working on. I do want to make some more updates and edits to my blog. So since I had a chance to go back and see sort of where I've come from, I have some changes and updates that I want to make to connect those to move forward. Oh, and that was the other thing. I got a chance to tag and hashtag and connect a lot of those old posts that I just haven't touched for a while to make them more relevant. So that was good too. And I'm just looking forward to some of the articles that I have. I have a whole new notebook. I guess being in that article writing mode kind of jogged my memory on a lot of things that I want to write about. So I have like 4 or 5 more posts that I want to work on. So hopefully those will be coming out soon. The problem is in the same way that I am long-winded and wordy here on our live calls, I write just like I speak. So I have to, I tend to write like 3 pages. One article, when I finished writing it, it was like 12 pages. And I was like, no, I need to condense. So I managed to chop it up into what might be 4 posts. And the first post in the series started out as 3 pages. I had to cut it down to 1. So that's what I'm working on now, cutting down my super posts. All right, so let's see if we have any of the wins coming in for the week. Oh, and I have a new, the Ents team has a new team member coming in. I don't know if Joy's going to be on this Facebook group, but I'll be calling her later. So I want to send a shout out to Miss Joy and welcome her to the team. Let's see. Oh, Renee says she's meeting a possible team member on Thursday. Awesome. So we're going to have our scratch off tickets to share, right? Hey, Myra. Happy Valentine's Day. Hey, Janet. Welcome. Renee said, gotta love Google. Yes, Google saved my life. When I found that, I was like, oh, thank you. All right. I thought I saw somebody celebrating a little further up. Let me see. This is a good problem to have. Having a lot of celebration. Let's see. I thought I could have sworn I saw someone come in. Was it Melissa? Oh, yeah, there it is. Melissa says she is number 3 in leaders for Team Growth and Campaign 4. Woohoo! Congratulations, Melissa. That is awesome. Number 3. That is so cool. Congratulations to you. That is a great job. Oh, Janet says I need a notebook. I will be honest with you. You will be proud of me. Paper! I've been writing on actual paper lately. I hate it because I can never find what I want. So I have to find a way to get the writing in the computer, even as backup, so I could search it. But yes, Janet, I've been using paper. Kathleen is sending welcomes to Joy. Thanks, Kathleen. That's sweet of you. Welcome, Isabella. So let's see. We're about 13 minutes in. So how are you guys doing on your wins? Any more wins coming in? We've got some celebration in the chat. I also did an event this week with one of the leaders from my team. She put together a recruiting event, so I was able to go out and join her. It was a good event. It was nice to kind of get back in the swing of things. It's been a while since we've done like a full tent event. We've been doing like walk and talk kind of prospecting, so it was fun to do that. We had a good time, and the weather was nice. Miss Anitra, I know I don't see her talking about it here, but I know she did an event last week as well. So congratulations to her. Hope you can all know what the weather's looking like. That's sort of been my problem. When it's not the weather, it's my car. So hopefully now the car is fixed. So the weather is my worry. Jessica M says she tossed over 500 brochures and spoke over to 90 people face to face. She said hand to hand. So she gave them the brochures hand to hand, but these are people that she spoke to in person. So that is awesome. That's 500 potential connections for her business, 90 people that she interacted with. That is a great way to grow your business. Talk about consistency. You go, girl. Work. Welcome, Susan. Milagro says she's working on Atlantis. Yes, we all want to go to that trip. With the snow last week, I was just like, can I be in Atlantis right now? Can I just teleport on over to the Bahamas? Hi, Condolito. Welcome. Awesome. So great job, guys. So let me get into our call today. So as I mentioned earlier, we're going to be talking a little bit about relationships, but not with people. Maybe I'll say that for a future call, but with our business. The thought that I had when I was thinking about what I'm going to talk about today, because every week now, I have this, oh my gosh, what am I going to talk about moment. So if you guys have questions, things you want to hear, things you want to learn some more about, send them my way. I'll be more than happy to do a video, because help me try to figure out what to talk about sometimes. Luckily, thankfully, with all the new incentives and all of our success and all the things that are happening in the business, I haven't had a moment where I was like, shoot, I really have nothing to talk about. But today I thought I was gonna have one of those moments, and then I thought, okay, it's Valentine's Day. Maybe I could do a Valentine's Day theme video, because honestly I was thinking, okay, maybe I should cancel, because I said maybe no one will be on, maybe everybody will be busy, I don't know. I'm home, but I don't know what everyone else is doing. And I said, nah, you know, you guys could always watch on YouTube later on, so that's good. But, oh, Janet, thank you. She said, every topic has been excellent. She's a nice person, because she knows how to make people feel very good about their funny videos. But thank you, Janet. I appreciate that. Chris said, think warm thoughts. Yeah, when it snows, I think the warm thoughts, and my feet are telling me something different. My feet are always cold. But warm thoughts can't get me through this weather, Chris, unfortunately. So anyway, so the background for my story was me and my female friends, we tend to joke about me and my Avon business. As a lot of you know, I have a full-time job. I'm an architectural designer, and I do Avon on the side. So people always ask me, you know, how's my career going? How is my studying going? Like, things that are related to my day job. People ask how that's going, and I'm always like, yeah, it's good. It's all right. It's going. And then they'll say, and I think they know, and that's why they ask the way they do, but they'll say, okay, well, how's Avon? And I'm like, wow, we have a trip to the Bahamas coming up. Did you know I just came back from vacation? I went to Vegas. They sent me on a trip to Tahiti, and now, and I get so excited about it, and they just look at me like, how come you talk about your job like this? And I said, I have a very good explanation for that. Actually, over the years, I've come to joke about it and say my Avon business is like my Latin lover, and my architectural day job is like, you know, the comfortable, safe guy in my life. So I have like these, it's like I'm dating two different people. There's the architectural sort of guy. He's reliable. He's there, you know, all the time. But, you know, he has a steady flow of income. It's sort of the responsible job. You know, when people hear that I'm doing architectural design, they're like, oh yeah, wow, that's great. That's impressive. And, you know, there's like some sort of idea of that it's more glamorous than it really is. It's a job like anything else. And I enjoy it. Don't get me wrong. I do love architecture, and I have wanted to be an architect for a long time. But it's safe. And then there's the Avon side, and you know, this, you know, feisty, fun. We go out and party on the weekends. We have events. We travel. We party. Did I say party? We party. You know, we go out and we have a good time, and it's about the interaction and the relationship, and it's fun and exciting and new and fresh. But it's up and down. And for me at this point in my business, sometimes it's not as stable as the career job, but it's definitely more interesting than my day job. So I've sort of had this relationship with my Avon business and my architectural career. And a lot of people have told me that eventually, just like as if I was dating two different people, I might have to choose between the two. Right now, I've managed to find a balance between the two. They know about each other, but they still get along. They understand that there's this other guy. It's like I have an open relationship. They understand that, you know, architecture knows that Avon is there. Avon knows that architecture is there. And they respect each other's boundaries for the most part. When I'm doing architecture, Avon goes on the back burner. When I'm out partying and celebrating with Avon, architecture chills. But it gives me the time to do my Avon stuff. So if impromptu photo shoot comes up with Avon, architecture says, it's okay, you can go enjoy yourself. I'll still be here when you come back. So, so I've been joking for years that, you know, I have this dual relationship, and eventually maybe these two will come to a head and I'll have to choose, but I'm not quite there yet. Don't get any ideas. But when I was thinking about that, I said, you know, this business, it really is like a relationship. And I started to think about different ways that it is like a relationship. And aside from the two perspectives that I shared with you so far, I felt like when you're running a business for yourself, when you're an entrepreneur, when you're a sales rep doing direct sales or MLM, or even just having your side business on the side of your main career, whatever it is, there are a lot of similarities between being in a relationship. And I started to think about it, and the more I thought about it, the more I felt like, yeah, this is very similar. So I Googled it, like we all do when you want information. You just Google, and sure enough, the first thing that you get when you search relationship stages, there was a little breakdown of like 5 steps to a relationship. So I decided to read through, and as I was reading, I was like, oh my gosh, I could picture Avon people, business people in each one of those stages. And I could really see it within people in my team, people I've met in the company. And I as I read it, the more sure I was that this is something that I wanted to talk about tonight. So here we go. There are supposedly 5 steps in any relationship. Now, I'm not going to go through relationship. I'm not a psychiatrist, and I don't know what I'm talking about in that regard anyway. But there's the 5 stages are supposed to be the romance stage, the power struggle stage, the stability stage, that's my version of it, the commitment stage, and the bliss stage. So 5 stages. So I compared those stages to the stages that we feel in our business. So the first stage is romance. So some symptoms of romance stage. I say symptoms because the description online mentioned that the romance stage is basically like being on a drug. Like chemicals get released in your brain that are causing you to fall in love, and it's basically loving it. Everything is perfect and wonderful. And I thought we get like that in our business as well. When we join and we get started with our business, everything is good. There's no bad. We're like, yeah, we can do this. We believe. We're making plans for retirement in 6 months, and traveling, and having the business pay for us to quit our jobs and travel in 3 months after we've quit the job. We have humongous plans. We're telling everyone, we're wearing our buttons, we're promoting our business. We're talking about it to everyone we meet because we're so excited about it. And then we have, within a couple of weeks or a couple of months, depending, something strange happens. There's a shift. And then it wears off. All that excitement, all that belief, all that bubbliness kind of wears down a little bit, right? And sometimes at this point, that's when a person leaves and, moves on to something else, because they're chasing that feeling of that euphoria of everything being wonderful and right. Now, if you think about it, do any of you guys know anyone? When I read that description, immediately I thought about people that I know who are constantly changing careers and changing businesses and always starting another business. And every time they do, this is the new brand new, wonderful, next big thing. This is going to be the gold mine. This is going to be the thing that gets them to become millionaires overnight. Do any of you guys have friends like that who you meet them and they're with one company, and then, that company is the best, that company is the ticket, they're trying to recruit you and get you in to work with them, and then 6 months later, they're in another company, and this company is the best company, the one they want you to join, the one they need you to be a part of their team, and you're kind of just like, wasn't company you were in last month the best company? Like, I thought you said, anybody else have people like that in their life? I do. And I do a lot of fairs and events, whether it's a recruiting event or a craft fair. And I've met over the years a couple of different people. And there are a few that I've met who, when I meet them, they're with one company and they're trying to get me to join that company. And I like to wait and see. I like to look and gather as much information as I can. As I said, I have a career. I do Avon because I love Avon. I love the products. I love what they do for women and what they do in their communities. Like, I have a real love of the business. So I like to kind of watch. I'm not averse to being a part of multiple companies, and I know people do it successfully when they've gotten past this romance stage. but I'm always leery of jumping ship too soon, if you know what I mean. And in addition to that, do you guys have representatives or friends or family members who join? They go through that euphoria, and then in a couple of months, you're calling them and they've ghosted you. They've joined the witness protection program. You can't get a hold of them, and it's like, I thought this was going to be your ticket to retiring early. What happened? Where did you go? What's going on here? Happens to me all the time. So I said, okay, those people are in the romance stage. The problem is that after the romance stage, when the romance and the chemicals and that love sort of wear off, I see someone crying. Who's crying? So after the romance stage, the next stage, stage 2, is the power struggle stage. This is where reality kind of sets in. Realness hits the fan. Jessica says witness protection. You never had a representative join the witness protection on you, Jessica? It happens all the time. So in that power struggle phase, it's they start to maybe shift their focus to the negative. Every little thing, oh, they're increasing the fees. Oh, they're upping the price. Oh, the customers don't want to buy. Oh, nobody is paying me for the order. Everything is like the world is going to end. Nothing is working out. And it's always someone else's fault. You never get that situation where it's like, things just aren't working out for me. It's always, they did that, the customers, the business, the reps. Someone else is always bothering them. But they're basically fighting with everything. And everything is all about the negatives. Hey, Janet. Welcome, Janet S. this time. Happy Valentine's Day. So in that power struggle stage, they're kind of looking for an excuse to get out. Because that honeymoon romantic phase is over and things aren't as shiny and as full of glitz and glam as they thought, at that point they're just like, oh no, I've seen you without the makeup. I don't know if I can handle this. It's just a little too real. And they start to take a step back. They start to lose their focus. They start to make excuses. So that's the power struggle stage. That's phase 2. What happens after that level, when that level sets in, there are maybe 3 things that start to happen. First thing is they quit. This is just too much, and they let it go. I don't know. It could be something like, a product that I ordered is missing. I can't do this anymore. I'm just done. I'm done. I'm finished. I'm done. It's over. And you're like, okay, it's just on back order. It'll come in 2 campaigns. But the person has already made up their mind at this point. The power struggle phase was too much. So they quit and leave. That's one thing that happens. The second thing, Janet said, this is so real. This is real talk, Janet. This is real life that we're talking about. When you start talking relationships, things get real. But so the second thing that happens after the power struggle phase that can happen, A, they could quit, or B, they stick it out. Now, stick it out isn't as sometimes isn't as a stronger feeling as that quit stage. Usually with the quit, it's like, I'm out. We're just done. Deuces. But with the stick it out stage, if they decide after the power struggle phase to stick it out, it's sort of as if that love and affection has become warped. They're still in it. They're still doing stuff. They're still placing orders, but the love isn't quite there as strongly as it used to be. You're not really feeling it. The emotions aren't really as lit as it used to be. So at this stage, the result of the power struggle stage is for them to stick it out. Sometimes what happens, or what can happen, is they become more like long-term customers. They place orders once a month, twice a month, a couple times a year, $20, $30, stuff that they love. They still like the company, they like the products, they like the brand, but they're not feeling as motivated anymore. They're not building or growing. They're not looking for new customers. It could be a situation where maybe the people at their job come to them to order, but they're not really making effort to get brochures in their hands. It's just like, well, they know I sell, so I place the order for them. Okay. They could become disconnected. A lot of times, if a person is disconnected, they're kind of clueless about everything that's going on. They don't know about the new incentives. How many times have you guys... We've been new Avon since when? September of last year? No, sorry. Probably February or March, because now we're in 2017. So we've been new Avon for a while. By the time we had Rep Fest, Janet says March. Okay, so we've been new Avon since March. I've run into representatives who have no clue that Avon was bought out by another company. And I'm just like, where have you been? Have you not read any of the emails? Are you not on Facebook? Do you not go to the meetings? And they're like, oh, yeah, I just... They're here to stick it out. They're not as interested. They can also become discontent with everything. So that feeling of, everything is wrong, the fees, it's bad, it's not working, it's just horrible. That could also become them being discontent with the company. And I've met people who are representatives, they are part of the company, but they're still not... It's not even that they're not excited. When you talk to them, you kind of wonder, like, why are you still here if you hate everything so much? Does anybody know anyone like that? Okay. And then the last thing is disinterested. These are people who may come to the meetings and sit back like, oh yeah, it's another sales meeting. They always want us to buy something. They're always coming out with a new product, another new product, another fashion show. We see these things all the time, every semester. Or, my favorite, the person who sits in the back of the meeting like, and I'm like, you're not getting paid to sit here. Why are you here? You're not paying attention to anything that's happening. What brought you out here? So, those are the people who are in it. And, there's nothing wrong with sticking it out, but it's a phase that they could either stay in. And I've known people, and I know representatives who are in that stick it out phase for 20, 30, 40 years. And I know representatives who are already getting into the stick it out phase, after a couple of months. So it has nothing to do with length of time. It's really just a mindset. So that stick it out phase, it's not bad. It's just where a person is in their relationship with their business. And then lastly, the last result number C, y'all caught that, right? Result letter C from that power struggle phase is to overcome. And if a person overcomes all that stuff, everything that comes with the power struggle phase, that's when they can move on to the next level. Step number 3, stability. So when a person can overcome the issues of the power struggle and they get to that stability level, that's when they get to the point where, changes are happening and they're like, okay, look, you got to roll with the punches. We got to move on. That's when they're having a problem with their order, with the customers, with the district manager, with the business. And they're like, I got to find another way to work around this because I've got goals I need to accomplish. The person is stronger. They're more determined. They're more focused. When you speak to them, you could almost feel the focus. Like they're like a tree that's rooted. You guys always hear me talk about, planting yourself, picking your mountain and sticking to it. So the people who are in the stability stage, they've accepted the changes. They're riding with the storms. They're deeply rooted. Those people are growing. They're not here just like the ones who are coming and sleeping in the meetings. They're here and they're sticking it out, but in a way that's overcoming the obstacles and overcoming any difficulty. They don't stay down for long. They may fall down. They might get knocked down. They might be having a bad day. They might say, okay, I've had enough and I want to quit. And then the next day you see them out at a prospecting event and you're like, I thought you were quitting. And they're like, oh no, girl, I got to go to Bahamas. That's that person who's in the stability phase. Then the next phase after stability is the commitment and growth phase. when you're stable enough and you're kind of not getting knocked down by every little thing, you can really gain some traction. And you know, your mindset has shifted, and now you're starting to see some growth. So they're beyond the get rich quick scheme. They know what the business looks like without its makeup on. They've been through the all-nighters. This is your ride or die chick. This is your homegirl. She's the one who's there with you when you're throwing up in the toilet. She's holding your hair back. She's the one at the commitment stage, is the one, you know, you getting locked up and she's there to bail you out. Commitment phase. You get me? So they're in it for the long haul. They're inseparable from the business. This is, you know, the not Bonnie and Clyde. What is Thelma and Louise? So the commitment stage, when you reach the commitment stage, it's like you and your business are Thelma and Louise. I guess you could say Bonnie and Clyde, but that story was really negative, and I think they died. Thelma and Louise died in, okay, bad analogies. Let's just leave that alone. Commitment and growth stages, when you're in it to win it, nothing can deter you. You're not giving up. You're here. You're steady. You're not crazy like, oh my gosh, this is the best. Everything is always wonderful all the time, every day of the week, because you know it's not. You're a little more real about it, but you're like, but this is my ticket to whatever my dreams and goals are. Now, the last stage is the bliss stage. This is when your relationship with your business becomes a blessing or a gift to other people. It's not so much about, I mean, it's still about you and your business, but it's not just the two of you in the relationship. It's your business is becoming a blessing to others around you. That's when you breathe life into other new business owners. People are around you and catch that fire and catch that energy. It's like you walk and roses spring up in your steps as you move. And you're just like a wonderful, empowering influence to those around you. But it's about the others. It's more than just you and your business. And that's when your relationship with your business is at like, okay, we've been married for 50 or 60 years. Nothing can faze us. I'm going to die doing this. I am climbing this mountain. I am just, this is my mountain. So much so that is named after me. People come to this mountain to see me, you know? And that's the last stage of your relationships. So now that I've gone through, let me go through all of them again for who don't take notes. So the first stage is the romance stage. The second stage is the power struggle stage. And that's where you get one of three outcomes. Either you quit, you stick it out, or you overcome the obstacles. The third stage is stability. The fourth stage is growth. And the fifth stage is bliss. Now, I know this wasn't easy to listen to. And as I was reading it, I kind of had to take a hard look at myself and my business and think, okay, where are you on this path? Where do you want to be? Of course, we all want to be a number 5, because that's wonderful. It sounds lovely to just be easy and comfortable and empowering other people. But the truth is, most of us are not, myself included. So I have some work to do. And that's okay. I mean, none of these stages are wrong. They're just where you are, where different people might be. And the best thing to do is to be realistic with yourself and say where you really are. Because if you're honest with where you are, you can kind of protect yourself from anything that might knock you down or keep you from proceeding. For example, if you're in the romantic stage where everything is wonderful, keep in mind that the moment that things aren't as shiny and as pretty as you feel now, doesn't mean that this is wrong for you. It might just mean that that romance phase is ended. You're entering your power struggle phase. You can prepare yourself to overcome those obstacles. And you do that by doing personal development, getting plugged in, going to the meetings and staying connected. I have found over the years that by going to the meetings and connecting with other representatives who would keep me accountable and, keep me motivated and moving on, because to be honest, it's not always roses. You have problems in business. Every single business has. But you have to understand that. And if you start drawing comparisons, that's why I like to go to a lot of networking events with people from other businesses. And that's why I'm glad I have my steady, stable, architectural, relationship, because I see parallels between my business and that business. So when something strange happens in my business, like, maybe a shortage, or something isn't accomplished in the time frame that I planned, I know it's just something that happens with business. I know it's just a thing that happens, that there's nothing I can do about it. It's not the end of the world. It doesn't mean I'm a bad representative person or leader. It doesn't mean that my team is bad. It doesn't mean that the company is bad. It's just something that happens, because it happens in other businesses as well. And I love that we have this relationship. I mean, me and you guys, and within the whole Avon community, because a lot of us share the things that we've gone through, things that we're going through, the not so pretty things, the not so easy things. When I watch other people's videos, Molly Bibb, Milagros, and they share the things that they've overcome, I am so inspired. And that makes me, sometimes I listen and I'm like, okay, my problems are nothing in comparison to what other representatives are going through. I need to leave that alone and focus on accomplishing my goals. I'll never forget a few years ago when Avon first brought back the Rep Fests events, and it was in Orlando, Florida. A representative stood up and spoke about how she didn't know how to read or write, and I think it was her district manager, taught her how to. And I was like, wow, talk about perspective. I mean, if anybody had an excuse to not succeed, she could have easily said, I just can't. This is, something I can't do. But she didn't quit. She didn't give up. And when I listened to her, I came back to my state like, you have no excuse for anything. You need to step your game up. So if you're in that romance stage, and you're maybe going through your power struggle stage, connect with other people. Look at what they're going through. Get yourself plugged in, because we inspire each other. And Melissa says that's where we met each other. Yes, we met at RepFest. See, get to events, because you meet amazing people. Melissa and I aren't even the same state. We're not on the same team. We've just had like a friendship through Facebook. And that comes by your getting plugged in. Not for nothing, but Melissa isn't coming to my house to look for me, to drag me out of bed if she didn't know me. I had to go to the meeting and make that effort to connect. She had to come to RepFest and make that effort to connect with other representatives. We made the decision to get plugged in, and out of that, out of our initial efforts, we now have this, yes, sisterhood, where we could vibe off of each other and learn and grow. And when I went to RepFest, both these past years, Anitra accompanied me the first year, or I accompanied her. Anitra and I went together the first year. Denisha and I went together last year. I introduced those ladies to the friends that I had made. They connected and made friends with people, and they introduced me. And it was just, it's amazing how we connect and learn and grow from each other. So, but you can overcome the power struggle phase by, getting plugged in, or, just being positive and changing your mindset. But you got to recognize where you are. So let me tell you what level I'm at. Are you guys ready for the transparency? Oh wait, let me just go back. The comments. Jessica laughing at my witness protection comment. Jessica says they realize this business actually takes effort, hard work, and they have to learn to roll with the punches. Yes, and that's usually what it is. When they realize that this is not a cakewalk, a lot of times people just leave that romance phase or they leave the power struggle phase when they realize it's not that easy, that you have to work. Jessica says, I'm cracking her up. Yeah, the drama is real in business. Melissa says, spot on, great topic. Janet says it's good to evaluate yourself time to time. Yeah. And like, this is fun and games. No one's criticizing anyone here. I'm joking and making fun. But if you find yourself in that phase where you're maybe in that stick it out phase and you want to change things, this is your chance to say, okay, I see myself, I see where I am, and I don't want to be there. I want to move on to the bliss phase. So, grab yourself by the bootstraps, get connected with another rep, and we'll move on together. Myra says it sounds like her because she was about to divorce the business. I like that she kept with the analogies. Good job, girl. She says she's sticking with this relationship and she's going to show it she's the boss. Awesome, Myra. See, that's what it's all about. You realize where you are. You realize what the obstacles are in front of you, and you realize, more importantly, that you can overcome them and that you can get through them. if you make that decision to stick it out. There is like what is it called? A pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. Let's see what else. Milagro says events and meetings. Yeah, register. Register for your events and meetings. Register for RepFest. Exactly. Great points, Milagros. Because amazing things happen. And you might find at one of these meetings, whether it's a national meeting like RepFest or a local meeting like a district meeting, you might find that inspiration and motivation to move on. And I've had, I'm not going to call names because I don't want to put anyone on the spot, but I had a representative who came to a president's recognition dinner. And it was her first one, and she came to me after, and she's like, I kind of noticed that, you know, there were people who were just like, kind of blasé about the whole thing. And, you know, she's excited and she's wide-eyed because it was her first one, and she saw people who were just like in the stick it out phase. And she said, I don't want to be like that, Georgie. I told them, she was like, I'm going to work my business. And she continued to go on to other meetings, and she found positive people to surround herself with. So sometimes if you can even recognize that, and I know this is probably going to come back to bite me. We're going to be sitting in a meeting and I'm going to hear Georgiana said that person's a stick it out person, that one's a bliss person, that person's in their romantic phase. Don't get me in any trouble with people, guys. Let's just talk here amongst ourselves. But on the real, to be honest with you, I think I'm in the stability stage. I do feel that I'm more focused in my business, but I'm not yet at the point where I'm seeing that growth that I would like to see. I've been in the same level in my leadership for quite a while now, kind of just going up and down, bouncing back and forth, and it's frustrating to me, super, super frustrating. And I was kind of thinking today, you know what though? At the end of the day, it's me. It's not the company, because people are out there, you know, doubling and quadrupling their sales. People are out there growing their team. And I look at, again, this is the benefit of getting connected. I looked at the leadership event that Avon had with I think it's executive leaders and above, the list of people who are growing their business by hundreds of representatives, adding new recruits to their team. And I was like, okay, so it's not that it's not possible. And it may not be that I'm doing something wrong. It may just be that my mindset is not yet where it needs to be. Maybe I need to do more evaluation. Maybe I need to just stop talking and put my feet to the pavement. But it's going to be for me to analyze what I need to do differently, you know, what my areas and opportunities for growth are, what I could do to better empower and train and coach my team, or what it could be to just go out and increase my numbers, whether it be sales or team sales. But I looked at this and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm in the stability level. I'm that person. You know, I've got the focus. I'm determined. I know I want to stick with this business. I know I want to stay in the relationship with my Latin lover. We're connected. We see eye to eye. I love the vacations and the treatment. That's all, you know, wonderful for me. But I also realize that it is hard work, and it is going to take dedication and sacrifice, but not in a way that, okay, it's going to be painful forever and I'm just going to have to suck it up, because that's not the right mentality either. And I think, as I've shared with you guys, for it's been decreasing, but for a few months ago, I was kind of in this stage where I was feeling really negative, and I had to fight to overcome that, and I had to disconnect a little bit from different things, and I had to really plug into my my personal development. And I think that was probably me riding out a storm. So I think I've gotten past that, which is great, but not quite yet to the growth phase. I'm stable and I'm committed, but I need to work on that growth. So that's where I am. Is anybody else? I'm not going to put you on the spot. If you don't want to share, you definitely don't have to. But is anybody else feeling like I know Myra said she's kind of connected with one of these. Does anyone else feel that any of these are resonating with them, that they feel a connection with any of these stages, that they've evaluated their business relationship and they're saying, okay, you know, this is where I am? Share if you want to, no pressure. You definitely don't have to. But I think it would be interesting to see what we can take, and that how we could take this information and use it to our benefit. So that's my topic of discussion for tonight. We had a little fun with it, and then it got really serious. And then we had a little more fun, and it got to just be kind of light and interesting. So I'm actually glad that I had idea this topic. It just says, thank you for sharing and being open. You are very welcome. That is one of the problems with doing these live calls. You just have to put it all out there. But I don't mind, because I feel like it keeps me accountable, and I can feel myself growing through doing these videos with you, because sometimes there are things that I just don't want to do. Since it's procrastination, it's just, being human, that I'm like, oh no, you have to do it, because not only is your team watching you, but your friends are too, and they're gonna call me out on my BS when the time comes. So thank you guys for making an honest woman out of me. Let's see what we have. I see the stream is really moving. Hey Daniel, welcome. Magali says she feels the same way. Sophia says consistency. Yeah. Renee says that's her. Melissa brings up an interesting point. Okay, she says trying to grow your team is hard. Oh wait, the stream is flowing again. Okay, she says trying to grow your relationship is hard when they're not in the same relationship stage as you. That's actually a really interesting point. What do you do if you're in a relationship with someone else who's not at the same stage as you? Quite funny, because in reading the same article about relationships, this topic came up with couples. So, for example, if a man is with a woman and the woman feels that her, maybe she wants to be pulling away, maybe at the end of the romance stage, she's leaning more towards quitting, and he's leaning more towards moving forward. When that happens, what tends to happen is, for example, the man might kind of chase down the woman, and she'll just draw further and further away because she's not ready for that level of commitment yet. But if they can both come to terms, either by seeking counseling, which I guess in our case would be seeking help from an upline, a manager, or or another leader, like how we do these calls, to get to the coaching and training. I would say from personal experience, when that happens, you need to give that person the space. If you chase them down, they're going to quit anyway. And not only are they going to quit, but they're going to feel like you're stalking them, and they're going to want you to back off. And then they're going to stop responding. Again, that's sometimes what happens that causes the witness protection program situation. I guess I would say, and you guys chime in, because this is open discussion, not just me harping at you guys. I would feel like in the same way that you would with a relationship, you might want to give that person that space, talk about it if they'll come to the table. But if your relationship with your business is going to be your relationship with your business regardless of where your team is, because they've got to have their own relationship with their business. So you, I would say, would have to keep working on where you are and what your dreams and goals are, and moving to your next stages, because that person, if you pull them or push them and try to drag them up, it's going to be like that scene in Inside Out where Joy is dragging Sadness around, and that never ends well. So focus on improving you, doing your personal development, growing your team. Come on, and let them find their way out of their stage. And there are a lot of people who have gone through romance and power struggle and quit just to come back and move through, and on the second or third or fourth try, move all the way up through to the stability, commitment, or bliss phase. So again, it's going to be up to them to get that for themselves. There might be something that triggers within them that causes a change. So, do you, boo. I hope that helps, Melissa. What else have we got here? Thanks, though. That was a good point. Kathleen says, great info. And we've got a couple of other people feeling like this. I think that's a common situation that we've all felt as leaders. But Darren Hardy, I think, just earlier this week I pulled a quote that said, you know, you're as a leader, you don't always lead by just telling people what to do. A lot of times you lead by example. So if people, and as we kind of mentioned earlier in the call, sometimes people are inspired by watching others get through those different stages and get through those different experiences. So share what you're going through and be that positive beacon of light to other people. And eventually you will attract other people who are on the same path as you to you, because the people who are looking to move forward and move ahead will be attracted to you. And you're doing an amazing job with your business, so it'll come. Let's see. Oh, Millie says when she first got started, she wanted to earn every trip, but she never looked into what she needed to get there. Today she realizes that back then she didn't want to do more of what she was doing. Sorry, I gotta open it because it's a big post. She didn't want to do more of what she was doing. Her mind wanted to, but her situation at the same time didn't allow her to get there. Today she sets goals and goes for it because she has the time now and the right mindset. Awesome. I love that. And you guys know we're big on goal setting in this call. Thanks, Millie, for sharing. Melissa says she's in a renewed romance. She quit her job in November to go full-time. She's loving it. Excitement is showing in her team and some are getting on board. I love that. Okay, 2 points, Melissa. You get 2 stars. I love that because that was one of the things that I was thinking when I was going through this. I was like, even though the romance stage is at the beginning, how awesome is it when you renew that? And that's one of the reasons I love to train new representatives, because when I'm with someone who's going through that stage, I get re-energized too, and I get re-excited. And like I said, when I was going through my old posts, I was discovering things that I had forgotten that I researched and looked into before, and it was kind of renewing my energy. So Melissa's saying the same thing. Sometimes even making that big step and jumping into like a stability or commitment stage, and she kind of forced the commitment because she went in full 100%. That kind of renews the energy and brings back those euphoric feelings of being in that romance phase. All right, Melissa, 2 for 2. Anna says she has no clue what phase she's in, but her daughter, who has Downs, is her inspiration. Every time she's wanted to quit, she does like she did tonight. She gave out all of the simple recruiting packs tonight at the restaurant. Our own. And see first Valentine's Day present for you, including the woman that was all alone. Aww. She got a hug from Amy as well. She was impressed. This is Melissa. Sorry, this is Janet saying that she was impressed and said, "Yeah, this business is for us." Awesome, isn't it amazing how just watching other people can encourage and reignite your passion for your business? That's a great story. Thanks for sharing, Janet. Hey Alice, welcome. Oh, it's okay. Don't mind that you're late. You can always catch up later on. Sophia says she needs to renew the romance too. I think we can all afford to renew the romance. And for me personally, a lot of that comes from, again, getting connected. Whenever Avon has new incentives, not when they're so close together that I don't have time to recover. But like now with this Bahamas trip, I am super stoked. I can't wait to go. When I earned that trip to Tahiti, that was another phase in my business where I was like, yeah, this is it. This is where it's at. This is where I want it to be. So yeah, that romance stage is awesome because you don't care about what other people think. You're just all about what you like about it and what's working for you and what's good. So it's nice to renew that romance phase as well. So let's see. All right, so hope you guys have fun tonight. I know I did. But this is as close as I get to talking about relationships. So I won't be getting much more of this from me. But I appreciate you guys getting on the call and sharing and being transparent with us as well, because I know even that's not easy. It definitely isn't for me. But I appreciate you guys asking your questions and making your comments, because it helps all of us. And you never know who you're going to inspire, because I've been inspired by hearing your stories tonight. Melissa had such amazing thoughts and feedback. So look, we learn from each other. So that's it for tonight, guys. once again, happy Valentine's Day. Enjoy the rest of your evenings and, you know, get a little romantic with your Avon business. Have a great day, guys. I see all the hearts. Look at the love. Awesome. You're welcome, Jess. Thank you for joining. It's always a pleasure to see you guys. Oh, look at all the hearts. Thank you, guys. That's awesome. Love you guys. You guys are all so cool. Janet says she learns so much. Why, thank you, Janet. That is really sweet. Myra says, great call. Have fun. I'm glad we have fun on these things. See, it doesn't always have to be work and play. Sometimes when you get back in that romance phase, you play a little and you have some fun. Thank you, guys. Thank you for joining. And as always, if you have questions, comments, or concerns, I do follow the chat when we're done, so you can always type in the chat box below, and I will get back to you if you have questions. But keep in mind which one of your relationship stages you're at and which one you want to be at in the future. Good night, guys.